We spend a lot of our time talking about images and how to make our pictures better, but one of the things I'm also very concerned about is how we make our projects sound great, and that's where Audition from Adobe comes in. Durin Gleaves is the product owner of Adobe Professional Audio Products, which includes Audition. Durin, thanks for joining us today. It helps if I turn your mic up, too. Good to have you with us. Give us a description of what Audition is.
Audition's a digital audio workstation. It's a full multi-track DAW environment, as well as a destructive waveform editor for restoration, voiceover recording, single file work, and that sort of thing.
Now, if we could take a wide shot of the booth, what you would see is about 800,000 people all working at Macintosh workstations, and we're Audition all through here. I was a big soundtrack fan, and I got dragged kicking and screaming against my will into Audition about 2 years ago and have been in love with it ever since. So even if Durin wasn't here, I'd be telling you how great Audition is. But what is Audition used for?
Audition's used, well, our primary customer base for several decades has been radio journalists, voiceover actors, and as with the acquisition of Centrillium, who used to make Cool Edit Pro, which became Audition by Adobe, back in 2003, we really started to embrace video and video producers more. And you'll see that we just keep adding more features to support video workflows, to bring folks over from primarily Premiere, but we're fairly agnostic.
Well, how can a video editor bring their project into Audition?
Well, with Premiere, we have direct integration, so you can send your entire timeline over to Audition and then send your mixes and your stems back. If you're a Final Cut user, we support Final Cut XML, import and export. And we support OMF, so if you're using Pro Tools or another DAW or another NLE that supports OMF, we have just about the best OMF support in the business.
Well, the 800-pound gorilla in the audio environment is Pro Tools from Avid. Why should someone consider Audition versus Pro Tools?
I was getting asked that a lot last year. This year I'm getting asked, or I'm getting told more like, hey, I've been switching over. I love it. Audition works very well. The only major differences really between Pro Tools and Audition is we're not a MIDI. We don't do any MIDI. We're not a MIDI sequencer. We don't do any composition. Other than that, it's a full multi-track workstation. Bring your clips in. We're pretty much agnostic toward your media. We'll do whatever we need to do to make it sound good, work good, and blend with the rest of your productions.
One of the things Cool Edit was known for was its audio repair technology. How can we use Audition to repair poor audio?
We have more features than I have time to talk about for restoration. Our noise reduction, our basic noise reduction has been phenomenal for 10, 15 years. We've added new tools based on new technologies such as source separation to really get in there and make selections and really take a fine scalpel to problems and anomalies, in addition to some of our more automated tools, our click remover, our hiss remover, and those kind of tools, our dehummer, those services.
Well, one of the people we're going to be talking with in the second half of the show is Isotope, that makes audio plugins. Do you support plugins as well?
Absolutely, and in fact, several of our native effects that we license from Isotope. Our multiband compressor is a very popular one, but we support VST, VST3 audio units on Mac. Just about anything out there that you can buy, we can support.
So what are some of the new features that we've got in Audition?
The big feature with this latest release is that's upcoming later this year is Dolby Digital and Dolby Digital Plus native support. No plugins, no extra license fees. It's just there. It just works.
Now, what does that mean in English?
That means 5.1, 7.1, Dolby Digital certified audio that you can drop into your Blu-ray production system, your streaming system, and your video projects.
One of the things that we're required to do now, both in the EU and the US, is to make sure that our loudness levels are under control, that we don't have commercials which are much hotter than program material. Right. How can Audition help in that regard?
We offer a few approaches. One of them we have is a real-time passive monitor licensed by TC Electronic, their radar meter. It gives you a real-time view of the average loudness of your system as you're mixing and you're working. If you already have mixed content that you need to ensure is compatible and legal for that distribution, we have tools called Match Volume, which will do an analysis pass and allow you to, with a series of upwards and downwards compression or other options, to make your audio files conform to the requirements.
One of the challenges that video editors have is audio is just alien territory. They know that they have to do a better job of maintaining their audio, but they don't even know how to make it happen or how to bring their projects in. How can Adobe help video editors who are new to audio improve the quality of their sound?
I think there's certainly a lot of things we can do to help educate users and make it a lot less scary, a more inviting editing environment. But probably the best thing people can do is there's so many resources available that just go over the basics. They're not in depth. They're not audio geek videos. They're like yourself. You have a training course that's excellent for video editors who need to start doing their own audio, but don't know where to start, don't know where to begin. And you'll see Adobe. You'll see us on the product teams this year, probably pushing out more videos that are not just here's what's new, but hey, here's some of the things we're hearing from users. Let me show you how to do that.
And where can people go on the web to learn more?
Come to adobe.com. Visit us on Facebook at Adobe Audition, or pop up on our Twitter at Adobe Audition, or our blogs.adobe.com/Adobe Audition.
And the voice you've been listening to is Durin Gleaves. He's the product owner of Adobe Professional Audio Products. Durin, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Take care.